if we want to enlarge the picture, one thing that you're saying that's really fascinating, Grant, is that when we think of rookie camp, we think of how are the individual players performing?
Yes.
What do we see from Trey Lance? What do we see from the running back? What do we see from the cornerbacks? And of course, that's very important, and it's something that I used to look at. But you're saying there's something more important than that.
Yes.
How is the coach using them? And what is his philosophy with this group? Does he have a philosophy, and what is his philosophy? And you're saying not only is it the philosophy of the coach as important as looking at the players, it's more important.
The way I look at it is your background before you got into this industry was movie criticism, theater criticism. And I still think we look at it that way. We're looking at it from the perspective of a lot of other analysts are just analyzing the actors in the play, just analyzing the actors. And the actors are important, their performance, but they're following a script. They're being told what to do from the director. And we like to go to the director and criticize him, not critique him, and put him under the microscope.
And understand him.
Consider him. And I feel like a lot of times in sports analysis, that's off limits. The attitude is, well, who are you to talk about the coach? But you can go ahead and talk about these kids all you want, even though you can't catch a ball or run a 40-yard dash. Just don't talk about the coaches because you're not qualified. I don't like that. I want to learn, and I want to be qualified to look at the guy who's making all the decisions for everyone. And it's great to look at what Trey Lance, how rusty is Trey Lance? That's a worthwhile topic to talk about. But what's more important is how is Kyle Shanahan preparing him for the future?
And is he preparing him?
Yes, absolutely. Or is he just saying, hey, man, I got a system. You got to learn it. Really? Then why'd you draft this guy?
That's right. And we have that suspicion that he's a system coach, that he would try to plug Lance into his system. And if he does that, it's a thumbs down. What you want to see is, I got this new wonderful athlete who has a brain. I want to see him expand his offense, himself, and his philosophy.
And I have a vision for him. I have a vision for him in this offense, because if what has been reported is true, and this has been reported from all the big mockers in the industry, that basically Kyle liked Lance and Mac Jones, preferred Mac Jones, and was swayed at the 11th hour to take Trey Lance. If that's true, then how invested is he in Trey Lance? Does he have a vision for Trey Lance? Or is he going to say, all right, you guys sold me on Trey Lance. Well, I'm going to coach him the same way I would have coached Mac Jones and Jimmy Garoppolo. If that's the case, then they're already setting up Trey Lance to disappoint, which is too bad.
He better have a vision.
I
want to say one other thing, and this is where I'm going to say NFL, not football. NFL is unique. I want to compare it to baseball for a moment.
Yes.
The baseball, the manager is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Bochy, Bob Melvin. I don't know the new guy, Kappa. I've never met him, but I could speak, about those two guys. Jeff Fletcher, my dear friend, who's a great baseball writer, once told me something like, Lowell, I think the manager in baseball probably loses or wins about 5 or 6 games a year out of 162. Right. Basically the guys get out and they play.
Yeah.
You bring in relievers, you bring in a pinch hitter, and what the hell do you do? So that's a sport where you can criticize the manager. It was stupid. He went into a shift and look what happened. But basically, you're talking about the players.
Yes.
Football is the exact opposite, because it's a choreographed.
Yes.
They have a playbook. It's really, really all about the head coach and some of the assistant coaches. And if you don't understand that about the sport, you don't understand the sport.
Right. And the game is really broken down so that players make very little decisions on their own. They execute. Mm-hmm. They read their keys. They execute. The only guy who gets to make a decision on the field is a quarterback, which is why it's so important.
Yeah. So when we're saying this training camp, what Iggy is saying, this rookie camp is all about the players, but it's more about Kyle. Who is he? How does he see using these players, especially the quarterback? Who is he? Yeah. And is he up to the moment? You would never ask that about a baseball manager, but in football, it's the essence of it. And so when you're looking at on that Friday, is it this Friday coming up?
It's this Friday.
when you're looking at on this Friday is, of course, the players, but what is Kyle doing? How is he directing this play?
Right, because most of the reports are going to focus on what's Trey Lance look like. Just naturally, because he's the guy and you want him in the headline. And it's important to know what Trey Lance looks like in his first practice as a pro, but it's ultimately not that important. He's going to improve or he won't. But what he looks like in August is more important. What's important now is what is Kyle Shanahan's plan to get him developed? That is important.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you think Kyle will come through on Friday?
I don't know. 50-50. 50-50. 50-50. I don't know. I don't know how much he likes Trey Lance, how much he wants to do this. Look, Jim Harbaugh fell in love with Colin Kaepernick, drafted him, had a plan for him, sat him for a year, wanted things to work out, was invested in Colin Kaepernick's success. Is Kyle invested in Trey Lance's success like that? I don't know. We'll find out on Friday. He better be.
Okay, so you'll report back to us on this issue?
Absolutely. I promise I will. I'll be looking for that all offseason, starting on Friday.